Hello, 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 and welcome to the 10th level of the Settlers 2 Vikings edition in the 10th anniversary. And in this level, we've got two enemies who are going to work together against us. But the first thing that I realized is that we have lots and lots of space. These guys are up there in the north. The level is called the Snake, so it's probably going to weave around. But I've got lots of space to put into action all of the different tips and tricks that we've learned over the last few months, and so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to optimize this space, and I'll bring you back when I've got my economy working. Farms. So you see, I have overloaded on farms here. I wouldn't say overloaded, actually. I'd say I have loaded on farms. So 27 farms supporting 13 mills, 13 bakers, 13 mines, and 1 brewery. Yeah, I've gone double down on the gold, so I've got 2 mints as well, and now starting to expand out to the east here, where I expect the enemy to come from. So yeah, all in all, very happy with how this is coming together. The fact that we've got all this space means that we can build an economy that's really going to see us through the long haul. So I'm not worried at all about the enemies. I'm sure they'll be strong. I'm sure they'll have lots of generals, but so will I. So yeah, I'll bring you back when we meet them. Well, we have been focused on building up our economy. We've produced more coins, but our military strength is still low. And you can see that the other teams have been steadily producing. I am close to getting a general farm now, but like I said, I've been focusing on building, so I'll build that up. But it's now important because up there in the northeast, on the right-hand side, you can see we have met the yellow team, and so we do need to start building up our military capacity, and that's what I'll be spending a bit of time doing. Now, as you guys know from our tips and tricks videos and from our focus on the military video, you can build up your military strength very quickly by creating a general farm, which is what I've done here. And I could have produced many generals, and actually if I'd concentrated on this, I would have overwhelmed the enemy much more easily. But actually I got a little bit bored and decided just to get, I think, 20 generals and then see how it went. And that was a mistake. It took me a lot longer because I had to then go back and create more generals. But that's what I was doing at this time, was just creating a few generals, and then I was looking around thinking, I've got a great economy, why not attack? So because I didn't prepare enough, although my attacks went well, I had enough generals and enough soldiers to overcome the yellow team, and there was quite a lot of back and forth. I lost quite a lot of soldiers, but had enough, But what happened was, when I finally got to their headquarters, half of my soldiers that were out there were privates rather than generals. And so again, although I had enough to overtake their capital, as you can see, I wasted a lot of soldiers. So once I finished that, I didn't have enough soldiers to take on the Reds. I actually had to retreat back, and so that was a bit of a waste. I could have done this a lot more efficiently if I had just prepared a little bit more. But anyway, it all went well. So then it was back to general farming for me, so that I wouldn't make the same mistake again, and this time I'd have enough forces to actually carry the battle. And what you're seeing now is me taking this fortress of the Reds multiple times. So the tussle went around this fortress, basically went back and forth until eventually I was able to take multiple buildings. The important point here is that they had coins in all of their watchtowers, so unless I took them one after the other, they would just keep reinforcing and building and promoting their soldiers, which meant that the battle was pretty hard. But once you established a foothold, then and destroyed some of their watchtowers and taken their coins, then it gets easier. Now, what I'd noticed as well was that they had committed too many forces to the front line, and actually their second layer of defences was pretty weak. So once I took this watchtower, there were a couple of watchtowers here that you can see that were completely undefended. So taking those, I was able to cut off the rest of the fortresses and the rest of their buildings from coin production. So that meant that they wouldn't be able to promote their soldiers within their watchtowers. So from then on, it was really just a matter of time. But once again, I was running low on soldiers, so So rather than waste my soldiers taking over these watchtowers that were really just in the way, I decided to let the catapults do their job. And so, having broken the back of the red team and the yellow team and making our way all around the snake, we basically surrounded the enemy headquarters, and in the end they didn't put up much of a fight. They had no soldiers left, so taking the headquarters itself was a breeze. I hope you've enjoyed this level. It was a real joy for me because we were able to create just a strong economy at the beginning, and then use that very wisely. If I'd spent a bit more time, like I say, on preparing my military, it would have actually been a bit quicker. But as it was, I enjoyed playing it, and the tussle was real. It was quite tough, but definitely doable. Thanks for joining. Have a lovely day, and I'll see you in the next episode.